Let me ask you, Senator, do you think the American people want to see another debt ceiling crisis like Speaker Boehner is threatening?
No, I think the American people regard it as an outrage that the majority leader over in the House, the Speaker in the House, actually is saying to the world that America is not going to pay its bills. For the first time in the history of America, he is proposing that we default, that we not pay our bills unless we make draconian cuts on the elderly, the sick, and the children and the poor. You know, Al, we are in the mess we're in now because Boehner and his friends helped to deregulate Wall Street, drove us into this recession, which was resulted in a significant decline of the middle class and an increase in poverty. Meanwhile, as I know you talk about often, the richest people in America are becoming richer, corporations are enjoying huge profits, and what Boehner and his friends want to do is give more tax breaks to the people on top, the 1%, while they want to make massive cuts to people who today are barely hanging in economically, who have seen a drop in their median family income. I think that is morally outrageous, and I think it's bad economic policy.
Well, Talking Points memo put out a graph showing the real cause of the national deficit. Based information from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Policies from the Bush administration, including the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and Bush-era tax cuts, are projected to be the main source of deficits from 2009 through 2019.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Where were these deficit hawks when Bush took us into two wars, Afghanistan and Iraq, forgot to pay for them? Where were these great deficit hawks when Bush provided huge tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country? And on top of all of that, Al, we have seen a significant decline in revenue because of the recession that we're in right now. It's the lowest, revenue is now at the lowest point in comparison to GDP that we've seen in 50 years. So these guys helped cause the recession, helped cause the deficit, and now they say, hey, let's move to a balanced budget by cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the needs of working families. I think that that is atrocious. The American people have got to come together and say, sorry, that ain't going to happen.
But you're making arguments based on facts, and facts really matter. And when we look at the fact that if it hadn't have been for the stimulus plans to really put something out there, we'd be in a worse shape. But today, Willard Romney said stimulus was a mistake. Look at this, Senator.
President Obama started out with a near $1 trillion stimulus package. The stimulus wasn't just wasted. It was borrowed and wasted.
Now, he had a different tune 4 years ago in his victory speech in Nevada. Romney was singing a much different tune about the stimulus. Watch this.
Today I announced a plan which I'd like to see enacted within the next 30 days to provide a stimulus to our economy on a short-term basis as well as ignite long-term growth for the American economy.
So change in, let's say, the song he's singing, Senator?
Yeah, absolutely. But here's what's interesting. Apparently, he was not concerned about the over $1 trillion we wasted on the war in Iraq, a war we never should have gotten into. On the other hand, what the stimulus package did in my state is create over 6,000 jobs when we needed them the most, rebuilding our infrastructure, putting money into Head Start and child care, and helping us deal with numerous problems. So if you create jobs with the stimulus package, I guess it's a bad idea.
Right.
But if you're prepared to waste money on a war in Iraq, hey, that's just great.
Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Still ahead, President Obama hits The View and talks about what life is like inside the White House.